How you doing? How's the preparation been for this game, and how much you're looking forward to hopefully playing in front of a decent crowd at Ibrox?
Preparation's been normal as possible, Josh. I think the lads obviously went through a season where we try and maintain a little bit of consistency in what we do. But you're absolutely right, the added excitement of going and playing the game at Ibrox in front of obviously we hope it's going to be a significant amount of fans, definitely has a different edge to the game, and it's one that the players will as we get closer to it. I'm sure the excitement levels will start to increase, but our job as coaching staff is to try and control that, but still hopefully by the time we get to kick off they've got that edge, they're ready to go and start the game on the front foot.
I just wanted to ask you as well, David, we've seen you a few times in the dugout with the first team recently, involved in training at times. Could you just give us a bit of an insight as to what your role is with the first team? Is it involved now and again? If you could just clear that up a little bit.
Listen, I think most of the time it's been due to maybe a staff member being unavailable to work on those given days. Apart from the fact that when the manager came in early doors, I've managed to get to know him a little bit better, and obviously the rest of his staff around that. So it's very helpful to try and have that continuity between both squads to try and, because ultimately the job of myself and Brian, and Smithy with obviously the B team, is to try and ensure that we create that understanding of what's expected, what the guys are doing at the first team, and try and make sure that they're ready to go around there when the opportunity opens up.
Hi David. Obviously Rangers expecting a big crowd for this game, and I noticed that Celtic have also started to sell tickets for the return at Parkhead. For folks who maybe haven't gotten along to see the B team in action this season, what style of play, what level of play can they expect to see, do you think?
Well, I think throughout most of the season we've tried to play a kind of dominant style of play in terms of with the ball. We try and make sure we control the game as best we possibly can, but at the same time carrying a threat, so that obviously we have a purpose with the ball. We try and make sure the opposition feel that they're defending for most of the game, but try to find that balance of when we control the game and when we try and hurt the opposition. That's the difficult balance of any team to try and find, but it's one that we try and work towards getting. I think we've always tried to make sure we're as close to what the first team do as we possibly can. Obviously, when you've got different players, it's not easy to be absolutely the same, but the messages we try and make consistent. Out of possession, we want to be on the front foot, we want to try and get regains as high up the pitch as we possibly can. So I would like to think this game at watches have enjoyed it. They've seen quite a sort of aggressive team with the ball and without the ball. We know obviously that varies at different games and different opposition, but we absolutely believe that when we have been on our best levels, I think most of the feedback, and certainly for what we would give the players, which is the most important thing, is that the players realise what levels they're achieving, what they can achieve. We would continue to push that, and I would hope that we would reach that towards the weekend, especially as we've touched on, playing at Ibrox is such an exciting situation, and playing in front of the fans. Hopefully we're closer to 10,000 or above. That would be another added incentive again.
Mm-hmm. And we are a little bit far out from the game, but in terms of injuries and suspensions, do you have any definite worries there?
Well, listen, we've got one or two. Lewis McCallum, unfortunately, has got an injury at the moment, which will take him out of the game. Other than that, everybody else is fit and able and well, so it's just really a case of now making sure we utilise this week as best we can to get basically the energy, the edge. We need to control it to a certain degree, but ultimately our job, of course we're looking forward to this weekend, but our job is to continue to develop players and push them, and we'll use that week to do that. But as we get closer towards obviously the Saturday, we'll be a bit more tactical minded and ensure that the guys know exactly what our sort of game plan is going to be, and we'll go from there.
Hi David, you've spoken about the different challenges that players can face over the course of a season, whether that be domestically in the league or the Cup in Europe. What kind of a unique challenge are you expecting on Saturday, and how do you expect the players to deal with that?
I think the two obvious ones are clearly the fact that the game's at Ibrox, which is different for most of the lads, and the fact you're going to have those the amount of supporters that are going to be there. It's very difficult for me to say here's exactly how we're going to help them prepare for that, because it's different for them. It is very unique, but it's something we want the players to get used to. They want to play at Ibrox every week. They'll be looking forward to this. Maybe one or two have had the opportunities when they're younger, playing in front of next to no supporters, with just maybe parents there watching the game. So this is absolutely different, where you've got a lot of interest from ultimately people that have got to know the players just through watching them through the B team and obviously what they see on social media. So now there's an opportunity hopefully to see them live, and our job is to try and make sure that we reach the levels that we touched on there that shows us in a very good light, a real positive performance, a real performance that gets us in the front foot. We want to carry a real attacking threat to Celtic, and that will be our intention from the off.
Thank you. And you played Celtic recently in the Glasgow Cup. What have you learned from that encounter, and are you expecting a similar type of game on Saturday, albeit with those unique circumstances?
I don't think we've learned anything different. I think we pretty much know each other over the course of a number of years, but obviously we get to know each other having seen games throughout the course of this season. So from that point of view, I don't really expect much or anything different. But if there is, then we have to adapt and go and be ready to deal with that. We always challenge the players that whilst we might prepare them for the game that's in hand, there might be something that happens in the game that's got to change. You've got to do something different, and whilst we'll help to guide that from the side, we'll challenge the players to find maybe some solutions on the pitch at the same time. That's not new, it's not different, but this game obviously brings a lot of interest. But we're excited by that. I think the players, we've been put in this environment, and and on Ibrox we keep talking about the pitches, and it's such an excellent level at the moment, and we very much want to go and show that we can perform in that pitch the way we want to do and show us in a good light. But as I say, I think the supporters brings an added edge to the game, and we certainly want to go and perform for them as well.